Okay, so this is called Alligator Alcatraz. This is meant to fulfill Republicans' fantasies of torturing other human beings. Straight up. All right, they want to torture other human beings. They get away with it by saying these are illegals. Okay, so if you're a mom in America, you're on a working visa, and DHS says, hey, we're taking away your working visa, and she no longer has legal status in America. Now Republicans want to call her an illegal and call her a criminal and call her an alien and send her to a place like Alligator Alcatraz, which is a facility in Florida, which is an area that's going to be probably 100 degrees, much more than 100 degrees throughout the summer. There's pythons, alligators around it, super scary. But Republicans love this idea of watching their political enemies or watching groups they feel are inferior to them. They want to see people in pain. Republicans love seeing people in pain. These Christ-loving individuals love seeing people in pain.
Normally on a Friday, the Everglades would be so quiet, but right now the hills are alive with the sound of construction. Joining us right now is Governor Ron DeSantis here in the great state of Florida. You came up with this idea.
Oh, they're selling merch too, bro. They're selling hardcore merch. Let me find the Alligator Alcatraz merch. I guarantee you, Republicans would be selling Auschwitz merch. I mean, they do right now. But back in the day in Nazi Germany, if these Republicans existed, they would be selling Auschwitz shirts. I promise you. I promise you.
In the last couple of weeks, right, for Alcatraz or Alligator Alcatraz. Explain it.
Well, when you want to have deportation of illegal aliens, there's a process the DHS has to go through.
Yeah, and it's like so funny, right? Alligator Alcatraz, fellow patriot. The feds have greenlit Alligator Alcatraz, Florida's gator-guarded, python-patrolled prison for illegal aliens who thought they could game the system. Surrounded by miles of swamp and bloodthirsty wildlife, this ain't no vacation spot. It's a one-way ticket to regret for criminals who will wish they'd self-deported. Remember, they justify all of this in their brains by saying these are terrible people being sent here. But the facts on the ground are very, very different. The ICE quota system, where they go into Home Depots and rip away someone's legal status that they did have, rip it away so they are now undocumented in America, and then frame them as abusers or frame them as criminals. The reality is Donald Trump is detaining the highest percentage by far of innocent people in American history when it comes to deportations, because they're going for quotas. They're going for high scores. They don't give a shit about crime. All right. They treat it like a game because they think it is a game. That's how they get their rocks off, bro. They enjoy this.
To vet, to process, and then to stage them for removal.
Right.
And, you know, we've got jails, and our sheriffs and police are working. The state of Florida is all in on President Trump's mission. And obviously you have ICE operations, but that's not enough. And so
we are here to support my president, Daddy Trump. They literally do. They call Trump Daddy. They literally do call him Daddy. The homoerotic sensation they feel when they see Trump is crazy, bro.
There needs to be more ability to intake, process, and then deport. So
Talk
this
about
answers
Freud.
that. This is going to be able to have more than 3,000 illegals can be processed through here. We've got a massive runway right behind us where any of the federal assets that they want to fly these people back to their own country, they can do it one-stop shop.
So where will the migrants come from? And we should point out, we're about 50 miles.
Calling people illegals, calling them aliens, saying one-stop shop, making it seem like a factory for human beings. These are all, words they use to justify human atrocities. We've already had multiple immigrants die in custody. Right now, we're seeing ICE agents and ICE facilities, people getting maybe a couple pieces of bread per day. A couple pieces of bread, maybe a little bit of water. Many people dying or being hospitalized because of the conditions in American ICE facilities. These are internment camps. I mean, these are, you could say, internment, concentration. You could pick words for it. But there's no reason to have this facility built in this area exactly, other than the purpose of being barbaric.
To the west of Miami, right?
More than that, I'd say. So we're in the heart. We're actually mostly in Collier. We're actually mostly in Collier County, to be honest with you. So
I was going to say we're in the middle of nowhere.
Dade Collier Airport. So this is an airport that we use for training, military. As you see,
it's pretty much an abandoned airport. Okay, they barely use it. It's not equipped for any of this. They have like outdoor AC units, which are bullshit. And by the way, this is not popular with Americans at all. This is not popular. The overwhelming portion of America. An overwhelming majority agrees. If someone's here on a working permit, working their ass off, give them a path to citizenship. Don't say there's a technicality and send in ICE agents to blow their door down and to traumatize their kids and abuse their kids. All right. Most Americans agree that being a terrible, disgusting, God-hating, human-hating person is not a good thing. Most Americans are good people. They're lied to about these operations, but we need to share videos like this around to make sure they understand what Alligator Alcatraz is actually all about.
Doing this on the
and it's gay too. Let's be honest, bro. I'm sorry. All my gay fans let me say this stuff, by the way. It's gay. Like all the branding, all the logos, the fact you need to boil your ideology down into fun alliterations and a bunch of stuff that's fun for you to repeat. Grow the hell up, bro. Grow up, deal with real life. If you don't got problems enough to know what real problems sound like or feel like, if you're in a suburb right now and you're afraid of immigrants because you never were around a brown person before, so when a brown person shows up, you're like, oh, they're speaking Spanish, they're probably talking about me. There's a reason people who are around immigration love immigrants. Okay, people who like ride subways love subways. It's because like all these people in these suburbs, all you guys in the comments who don't have life experiences, you guys are hiding out there getting all paranoid with your like security system. I know these houses. You have your security systems. You have your signs that say no trespassing. You might have a sign of a gun that says we got self defense if you tread on my property. You guys are paranoid dipshits who are gonna walk us down an authoritarian path where Palantir, Peter Thiel, Elon Musk are gonna be scanning all of our faces through a surveillance state with artificial intelligence, and you're slow walking us down that road because you're okay with dehumanizing all of us if it means you get to attack immigrants.
Footprint, but basically I would say most of the illegals will likely be ones that are apprehended in Florida. We've got across this country about 750,000 illegals that have already been ordered to be removed by an immigration judge. We probably got 50,000 or more in Florida, and so we're going to have our hands full just with that. But I'll tell you, this is going to be a force multiplier, and we're really happy to be working with the federal government to satisfy President Trump's mandate.
None of this stuff was here, except for the runway, about a week ago.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure Ron DeSantis would love to satisfy Donald Trump's mandate. There's nothing Ron DeSantis wants to do more than to ride on Trump's mandate, to soothe Trump's mandate, to give Trump's mandate whatever Trump's mandate desires. I guarantee you, he will do anything.
This is a functioning airport. Some media has erroneously tried to say it was defunct. It's not defunct. They do have flights. All those training flights will still be able to continue, no problem. But all the stuff that goes into intake and processing of illegals, you're seeing this put up. This is all.
Yeah, it's not an airport. It's an airstrip. Okay, so when people think airport, it's not an airport. He said the media lied about that. It's not an airport. It's an airstrip. That's why there's a bunch of random camps, a bunch of random tents they're going to make people huddle in like cattle. There's a reason there's no indoor facilities. It's not meant for this kind of thing, obviously.
24 hours from now, you're going to see even more. And by Tuesday, this will be able...
By the way, if you're watching, please drop a like, comment, and subscribe. If you're watching on YouTube after, please join my channel. I go live most nights talking about this stuff. Right now, though, okay, I'm going to watch this video, and I'm waiting for all the Trump supporters in chat to call me. All right, the phone number's up there. I'll take calls after I react to this video. All right, so make sure you call in. We'll have a nice conversation about anything in the news right now, especially Trump's huge cuts to Medicaid, huge increase to our national debt, and huge power giveaway to the corporate, tech oligarchs who want to make a surveillance state over us.
To have intake of illegals.
And you've thought of everything. Okay, so there are 4 gigantic tents. Let's come on over here, Governor. And people are thinking, okay, you're in the middle of the Everglades. It's hot. That would explain why you've got this bank of air conditioners here.
Yeah, so I mean, this is going to be, illegals will come in, they'll be processed, there'll be places for them to be housed, you'll have an ability for food, you'll have an ability for them to consult legal rights if they have that, because there is a process that's involved with this. So this is really everything. This is going to be a self-contained little area. And then, of
someone should tell the Trump regime there is a process involved.
Of course, you also have stuff for the staff that work here. So we've got laundry facilities, we've got...
Did you guys see? Oh yeah, they also have actual facilities for the staff. Did you see the ICE agents who blew down American citizens' doors because of a suspicion of an illegal alien being there? Did you see the ICE agents who were lying to immigrants, telling them they were signing like a different form, but the form was actually a form of deportation, signing away their rights to seek like an appeal? Did you see the ICE agents going through and just like ripping apart communities, detaining that one, 50-year U.S. vet, Purple Heart, just detaining them to meet their ICE quotas for their high scores that Stephen Miller jacks off to, because he wants to see as many brown people beat up as possible. Did you guys see all that stuff? And by the way, I don't think Trump's racist. I think Trump is an egomaniacal narcissist. But Stephen Miller, is 100% in line with the Nazi Party of Germany. 100%. He models himself after it. He speaks like it. All right. Trump's not racist. He's a showman. He wants power. He doesn't give a shit about people. But Stephen Miller, he wants people to suffer.
Showers. We've got, obviously, there you see the shower and bath facilities.
Yep, right there.
Yep.
Where do you go to get a bunch of bathrooms like that?
Well, so this is being done by the Division of Emergency Management. So when we have a hurricane, like we would actually have people stage here for hurricane response normally,
right.
Anyways, but we have it. When we have all the linemen come in to do the power,
sure.
We have to set up little areas for them. And so you have all this type of stuff. So this is not our first rodeo. The detainee, illegal alien mission's a little bit different, and the deportations, but logistics, we know how to do that.
Right, and you know, for people thinking, okay, they're gonna put the migrants on this hot asphalt, it looks like you're building a subfloor, and in fact, some guys putting down the plywood.
Yeah,
right
no,
now.
Look, this will be, I mean, there's not going to be anything that they're hurting for anything. There'll be AC. There'll be things that everybody needs. There's medical here. So it's being done right. It's being done by the book.
Well, you know, when you think of the
We have a first aid kit ready.
imagery of Alcatraz, Alcatraz is surrounded by a bay. Here in the Everglades, you're actually surrounded by gators and pythons.
So this is as secure as it gets. I mean, if a criminal alien were to escape from here somehow, and I don't think they will, you've got nowhere to go.
Illegals, criminal aliens. You can still call people, by the way. You can disagree with people. Republicans don't need to call people rats and scum and vermin and illegals and aliens. Republicans choose that dehumanizing language for a purpose, and it is, the purpose is to do bad things to people. Ron DeSantis, again, I don't think he cares either. Look at it. Listen to his voice for a little bit.
I mean, what are you going to do? Trudge through the swamp and dodge alligators
Trudge
on the
through
way
the
back?
swamp?
50, 60 miles just to get to
Like, what are these? Are these like from The Boys, like superheroes? Or are these like supervillains who can just like burst out and they need to be like held in a special confinement facility? Like, the idea you need any type of operation like this. The reason Alcatraz wouldn't work is because like you would never want a prison that's in water. The logistics, the price, the efficiency of it is terrible. And regular prisons, regular facilities will do. You can treat people like humans, and have little to no consequences with that. And it's really funny though, because like when it comes to self-sacrifice and everything, self-sacrifice to give people a little bit of human decency. The main people in my life that say things like we should be disrespecting immigrants and everything and treating them like animals, they are Christians who completely disregard Jesus and what Jesus went through to show an example of how God wants us to live on earth and how he wants us to live on earth. And Republicans talking about Jesus and then voting to take away healthcare, voting to give money to the rich, stealing from the poor, voting to ruthlessly attack immigrants for no reason other than like technicalities and because they don't like them. It's not Christ-like.
Not going to happen. So not only that is it secure, it also takes this deportation mission out of the hair of our local and state law enforcement. This has no impact on Florida residents because
Someone said Jesus rode 2 donkeys. Bro, if Jesus was riding donkeys right now to America, they would call him an illegal alien caravan, MS-13 terrorist looking to invade America to destroy Western civilization. I promise you.
That stuff can have an impact on them if it's in more populated areas. And so logistically, this really answers the call. All you need is a little bus to move them, about 2,000 feet that way, then get on a plane and they're gone.
Well, listen, the DHS must love this because they're hurting for facilities, and here you are helping the federal government out.
Yeah, well, I said at the very beginning when President Trump took office, you have to have state and locals on board. You got to be on the team if you want to get the deportation mission done. We're done that better than anybody, but I hope other states will follow suit.
If the president is watching, I'm sure.
Okay, well, I mean, the whole point of this is to suck up to Trump. Everyone in the administration needs to get on their knees and bow down to Trump with their knee pads on and beg for power.
That runway right over there could probably land Air Force One.
An invitation from me. We can land Air Force One right there, no problem. We'll get it done. I think the president would be impressed with what these guys are doing out here.
Well, it is very,
Daddy
very
Twomp.
impressive.
Daddy Twomp, please look at me, Daddy Twomp.
Alcatraz here. A couple days ago, you said regarding New York City, where that socialist won the Democratic primary.
Uh-oh.
If he wins, So many people are going to be leaving New York. It's going to be a giant exodus, and they're going to be coming to
So
Florida.
many people are going to run.
I mean, unfortunately, I think the bad governance just repels people. And I love New York City. I think it's one of the greatest cities.
Yeah, they're all going to leave and go to Florida, the big tech finance capital of Florida, so they can get wiped out by a hurricane every 2 days. You know, Florida is propped up by retirement communities and tourism. The reason Florida can have such low taxes is because they fund their entire state with, by the fact they have an ocean across 90% of their border. Okay, that's why Florida can have low taxes and have a high sales tax. Because, again, around their border, they can just pass off costs to that. Florida is only successful because of their geographic location. Their management sucks.
In the world when it's at its peak, but now they're struggling, and if this guy gets in, all bets are off. And yes, the socialism, the tag wants to tax like white neighborhoods more. It's insane. But I'll tell you, when he says abolish the NYPD,
right,
eliminate cash bail.
He did not say abolish the NYPD.
Your personal safety as a resident there is at risk if this guy's policies go into effect.
Yes, he's going to get rid of all police.
That's the one thing I found talking to people that have moved to Florida.
He said that.
They have no tolerance for the kind of defund the police nonsense. And once these leftists do that, they get out of Dodge because they want to protect themselves and their families.
Republicans all believe that Biden and Harris were for defund the police, and they literally increased police funding. Their defund the police was saying police are underserved and police are under-resourced, and we need to give them more resources so they can do a better job. So Harris and Biden gave them more funding. But Republicans lie. They lie and lie and lie. And other Republicans and independents watch podcasts, and they believe the lies. So they believe, all the Democrats want to get rid of the police. This is why we can never have a conversation based in reality in America anymore. This is why. Propagandists like this, people like this who are like, look at this guy, bro. This guy's... This guy. I mean, to be fair, Donald Trump was afraid to debate Nikki Haley and Ron DeSantis. Trump was afraid of him. So, I mean, maybe DeSantis has something. Maybe he's packing and we just don't know it. But yeah, this shit's crazy. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe if you're watching this back on YouTube. Really helps if you drop a like. I have a Patreon in my description. I have YouTube memberships. You can donate to Jolah Politics on Cash App, PayPal, or Venmo. Join our Discord down below as well. Thank you for watching. If you're watching in the live stream right now, I will start taking phone calls. The phone line is opening up right now.